water.
Okay, so we're going to go through lines and line segments. So this is a dot and it's a period, but it's a dot when you're drawing and it's a period when you're doing a sentence. In math, this is called a point. And it's an exact spot when you're doing something like a graph like this. You put a point down to show the math problem. So you're going to write something like that. And this is going to mean something here and this is going to mean something here, but we just show it as a point. So it's just going to look like this. Okay? This is called a line. And a line means the line can be as long as it wants, which is why there's arrows here. It can go off in any direction for as long as, like, driving. You can start in San Carlos and you can drive all the way to Redwood City, or you can drive all the way to LA. It just keeps going and going. A line segment has an end point right here, and then it only goes in one direction. Sorry, that is a ray. So it has a point and it goes all the way, however far it's going to go, but it has a definite starting position. A parallel line means that there's a line somewhere and the other line that's next to it is going in the same direction and they do not ever cross. So this is going to go as long as it's going to go. This is going to go as long as it's going to go, and they stay parallel. An intersecting line is a line that can go as long as it wants, but it crosses another line. And there where it crosses is a point, like we talked about here. Okay, so we have something called an angle. If it looks like an L or the edge of a book, like when you open a book, this is called 90-degree angles. If it's smaller than that, like this, we can think about this as something. It's called an acute angle, but we can think about it and remember it by saying, oh, look how cute this angle is. It's so little. So that's how you can remember what an acute angle is. If it's exactly 90 degrees, it's called a right angle. An acute angle is less than 90 degrees. So it's smaller than an L. So anything right here, anything right here, anything right here, anything right here, any of these angles, let me draw them out. Anything that looks like this would be an acute angle. And anything that is bigger or wider than an L would be an obtuse angle, is what it's called. All of the ones that fit inside of an L are acute. The L shape, if it looks exactly like an L, is a right angle. And then an obtuse angle means it's bigger than an L. Here's our L. It would be bigger than that, and that's called obtuse. Okay, so we have a lot of different shapes that we can go through. Our first we're going to talk about is a polygon. And there are many different polygons. So this right here is a polygon. This is a polygon. this is a polygon. And what has to be there for a polygon? It has to have certain things to make it a polygon. A polygon has to be closed so there can be no openings. It's one solid shape. There are no openings to it. See how there's a closed shape? If you put water inside of it, there would be no leaks because there's no openings. So it has to be closed, and it has to be different number of sides. Our smallest one that we have is a triangle. If it has 4 sides, it's a quadrilateral, which quad means 4, and tri means 3. So this is an angle, a shape made up of angles with 3 sides. And a quadrilateral is a shape made up of 4 sides. A pentagon is a shape made up of 5 sides. So if you counted the sides, you would get 4 sides. A hexagon is 6 sides. Okay, so we'll start with the triangle. We have some different types of triangles. We have an equilateral triangle, and it has all 3 sides are equal. And that is called an equilateral triangle. An isosceles means that 2 sides are equal. So this side and this side are equal, but this side is going to be a different, little bit longer or a little bit shorter. But 2 sides are equal, and that's called isosceles triangle. And a scalene triangle, I have a really hard time drawing a scalene triangle, so let me just trace it. This is a scalene triangle, and no sides, 0 sides are the same. So if we measured it, none of them would be the same exact size. All right, for a quadrilateral, which was our second shape here that we talked about, we have a parallelogram. So this is a parallelogram. And a parallelogram, these sides right here and these sides right here are equal, so they're the same size and they're parallel. These never cross and these never cross, but they do cross each other. They just don't cross the opposite side. Another rectangle is a parallelogram, and that is that it has 4 right angles. Do you see how this is like an L shape, an L shape, an L shape, and an L shape? So there's 4 right angles, and these sides are equal and these sides are equal. This is called a rhombus, and a rhombus is a parallelogram with 4 equal sides. So I actually did not draw that very well. So it's like a slanted square. And then a square is my next shape, and that has 4 equal sides. So this side is the same as this side, is the same as this side, is the same as this side. So it has 4 sides that are the same. A trapezoid is a shape that has something like this, something like this, something like this, and something like this. And that's called a trapezoid. This and this is parallel, but this and this is not parallel. Do you see how they go in different directions? This goes in this direction, this goes in this direction, and they would cross. And do you remember how we talked about parallel lines? They never cross. So there's only one set of parallel lines, and the others, if you continued to make them go out like this, they would cross. Lila, can you unmute yourself for a second, honey?
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Do you have any questions about that?
No, not really.
Okay.